Hello all, today we have Mr. Velmurugan sir, Sociology optional faculty at Officers IAS Academy. So sir is teaching civil service aspirants for the past 12 years and he is practicing law in both Supreme Court as well as High Court. So he holds a master's degree in Sociology, Economics and Commerce. In this video we will be discussing the scope of Sociology as an optional subject in Civil Services Mains Examination. Hello sir.
Hello.
So can you explain me about what is sociology? Because I have an understanding that sociology is a subject which is something dealing with society, and I think many other subjects also deals with society directly or indirectly. So what is sociology? And can you give me an idea about the sociology optional syllabus for our mains exams?
Yes. So, sociology, generally speaking, it deals with study of society, and that is what is the definition of this particular word called as sociology. And entirely speaking, the optional paper of UPSC we can divide into two. One is paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 will speak about the evolution of this discipline. So what is sociology, how it evolved, so what do you mean by thinkers, what we study mainly in the sociology optional paper, and all the aspects of evolution of a discipline will be dealt in paper 1. And paper 2 is all about Indian society. So what are the perspectives to study the Indian society and what is the social structure what we are having in case of Indian society, and most importantly the recent contemporary changes in case of India is being dealt in case of the paper 2. So this particular paper will deal something profound about society. Society can be studied in many perspectives. So in-depth study we do in the optional paper called as sociology.
Okay. So for a fresher, so how much time it will take for them to complete the syllabus for the mains exam? So I need clarification on two things here. So how much time it will take for you to complete this subject as a part of the classroom coaching, and how much time is expected from the student to cover the syllabus for the exam?
Okay, good. So generally in this area, all the optional classes will be happening only on weekends. So a class will be for 3.5 hours. So Saturday and Sunday 3.5, 7 hours will be the class on every weekend. And I will take approximately speaking minimum 200 hours to complete the syllabus. 10% it can increase based on the syllabus coverage and syllabus completion. From the student side, I expect that the number of hours what I devote for a class, that is 7 hours. If they spend the same 7 hours on the Saturday and Sunday, 3.5, that is enough for them to complete the syllabus, even though they are fresher to the syllabus completely. Irrespective of the background to which they belong, if they allocate 14 hours, 7 hours for class, 7 hours for reading, within 6 months of time, syllabus can be definitely completed as such.
Okay. So apart from the classroom notes, classroom content which you provide, what kind of material support will you be providing? So will you be providing on your own, or will you be asking the students to refer some market sources?
Okay. Generally with respect to the material, two sources are available. One is that PPT will be shared with the students as such, and number two, printed material from the academy, totally 3 books. For paper 1, I'll give them 2 books, and for paper 2, I'll give them 1 book. So all put together, 3 books will be given to the students at free of cost, and that can be utilized by them for preparation. Additionally, other than what is said in the PPT, said in the book, I will also give new inputs in the class which can be taken as a running notes.
So the PowerPoint presentations which you give in the every class lecture plus the materials.
Yes, exactly.
That will suffice.
Yes, more than sufficient. Right.
So, a student after attending the sociology classes, after going through your materials, following your assignments, so will that be sufficient? That level of preparation, will that be sufficient for taking up the exam, or is it required for them to take some tests in sociology?
Very good. See, generally, for example, if you are having some 8 hours of time to cut a tree, 6 hours of time we have to sharpen the axe, so that the work is done very comfortably in 2 hours of time. The same logic applies here. Whatever they prepare, until they pen down in the form of a test, they will not know where they are standing. They might have an assumption that we know everything, but at this point of time, completing and giving the test is mandatory. Before the mains examination, I'll give them a decent amount of test. It will be more than 10 also. And after the prelims exam, when they're going to appear for the mains exam, again 10 tests. So 20 tests they have to mandatorily give in this optional paper. Only then they can have a comfortable score in this optional paper.
Okay. Okay. So how far the solving previous year questions will be helpful, sir?
Okay. Previous year question papers are considered to be the best source for any optional paper. In that area, last 5 to 7 years of paper in the option, what has been given by UPSC, if you are able to solve it, it shows a message that in that particular unit, we are very strong. Now, based on unit, the number of questions are available in the market that we will be sharing in the class as such. That particular unit wise, when they solve all the questions, then they can have a comfortable feel that they are very strong in the optional paper.
Okay, okay. So in my experience, I have come across a lot of students where they take up an optional, not just sociology, any optional. They take up the optional, and over a period they slightly face some challenges and struggles for various reasons. So in your experience, can you share what are the challenges faced by the students when they take sociology as the optional?
Good. Optional paper, initially speaking, when aspirants take, they take with great amount of hope that this optional paper is going to help them to make their service. But over a period of time, they just have the habit of just postponing the classes, not coming to the class, not listening in the class, using mobile phone, getting distracted. These things when they are doing initially, they do not get the grip of the subject. And number two, with respect to sociology, unit number 1, 2 and 4, these 3 units are considered to be the heart and soul of the entire optional paper. In that, if they are having a perfect amount of clarity, then entire optional paper will look very easy for them. And in these area, in the foundational aspect, when they are not able to focus properly, not able to understand things, then the option becomes complicated. And then very importantly, the art of communication is what you want to say that the other person should receive it in the right language. And for that, you need to write in the simplest language of English what you are trying to convey. Here, we have the liberty to express what we want to say, but that should be based on an English. I'm not expecting you to give an English like the center page of the Hindu. No, a basic English in which what you are trying to communicate, that should happen. Failing to do these things or failing to obey the instructions what we give in the class, that is the main area where they get distracted. So if they are dutiful and devotional to the class and the content what we teach, then optional paper, here we can push them to a comfortable level to score good mark in the examination.
Very good. So now, who can choose sociology as optional subject? We see a lot of students coming from different subject background, from law, from engineering, from medical science. So what is your suggestion? Who can choose sociology as their option?
Generally, a very straightforward advice to everyone is students who are having their background, if they are very strong in that area, in the background UG what they have done, they can go for that optional. However, with respect to this particular optional paper, as it deals with the society and other things, one who is generally interested to know about society, what is family, what is marriage system, caste system, how these things are operating, how society functions generally, in these area, if you have some iota of interest, then that will be an enabler point for you to choose the option. And number two, the classes will be from the scratch. So any background you are coming from, you will not have any hiccups to understand the content. We can make it very clear and simple.
Okay, okay. So I also come across various optional subjects from different social sciences, which has some relevance, a kind of overlap, which I am able to see in the general studies, both prelims as well as mains. So whether sociology has such relevance in GS?
Yes. In case of the mains GS examination, where the marks are being taken for your interview and for the final selection, here in the element of essay paper 250 mark, one essay will definitely come from social issues. So the element of sociological knowledge what we gain will help us to write a wonderful essay in the mains examination. And number two, with respect to GS1 paper, we have Indian society, where the optional paper will have an overlap. We can just do the best in that area. And even in case of the history, the philosophy based questions what we are reading, all will have an insight coming from the sociology optional paper. And GS2 paper of the mains exam will have social justice. So there also the sociological knowledge what we gain in the class, that can be reproduced. And GS4 ethics paper, all questions based on society can be handled more smoothly and comfortably with respect to this optional paper. And generally speaking, the entire element of the final functioning or the final place of working will be society. So society based inputs what we learn can be reproduced in the various papers of GS mains exam and essay paper, which will be an advantage in this option.
Okay, okay. Now my last question, sir. So if someone has decided to choose sociology as their optional subject, what kind of hand holding you will be providing for that aspirant?
Okay, it's very important thing actually. So an aspirant who is choosing the sociology optional paper, for him first is that I'll cover the syllabus. So strictly speaking, the entire syllabus of the option will be covered to him, and we will be giving the materials whatever is required for the aspirant as such. We will ask them to go for the test, and I will give them personal feedback to the candidate. I will give them mentoring to prepare for the optional paper in a right perspective so that they don't get deviated. And most importantly, it is not like only for this year we will be giving all the support. We will ensure that the candidate who has chosen the option of sociology is being given the back end support till he gets his dream service, whatever he is having as an ambition. So completely with respect to the optional paper, we will give him a support. And then if it is possible, then and there we can arrange some sessions inside the class itself so that the candidate can come and express how he was able to do things, how he was able to score more, and what ways he has done to achieve good mark in the examination. All this pep talk within the class will enable the aspirants to do good in the upcoming sessions plus the examinations also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving us a comprehensive view on sociology as the optional subject.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great
Thank you so
having
much.
a conversation with you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.